We're going to finish with another organisation that does some fantastic work, and it's Citizens Advice. I know that lots of us interconnect with Citizens Advice regularly in part of our day-to-day work and our survival in this area. And so the final speech of the day. Are you ready, ladies?
Hi, everyone. I know we're last, and I know you're probably all wanting to get home, so we will stick to our 10 minutes as much as we can. My name's Hayley. I'm the Assistant CEO at Citizens Advice in Manchester. This is my colleague, Jess. We did hope that our colleague, Vicky, would be here with us today. Vicky is one of our housing specialists who would have brought a great deal of knowledge and insight, but unfortunately she can't be here because she is literally in court this afternoon representing a family that are about to be evicted from their home. So I'm sure we would all rather her be in court than in here. So you've got us instead. So as I said, we're Citizens Advice Manchester. We deliver our service in the city of Manchester, but also regionally and nationally as well. Can we just flip to the next slide, please? So what is it that we do? Probably a lot of people have heard of Citizens Advice, and what we do is deliver free, independent, confidential and impartial advice to people on their rights and also their responsibilities. We've worked in Manchester, not us personally, but the organisation has been working in Manchester for just over 85 years, so we're really well established in our communities. And in Manchester, we have what we call a really multi-channel delivery model, which I'll talk to you a little bit about in a minute. We work with around 30 other local citizens' advice across the northwest of England to deliver our service. So what do we do? What does our delivery model look like? So we deliver in a whole range of different ways. We understand that our clients are as diverse as the community of Manchester. So we take our advice out into the community to deliver face-to-face or place-based advice. We deliver advice over the telephone. We deliver advice via WhatsApp and other digital channels. And we also deliver advice through video. Our citywide advice service, or the service that we deliver here in Manchester, is available to all Manchester residents, although we target our service at the priority wards in the city. So those areas within the city where people are most at risk, they are most likely to be experiencing poverty and disadvantage and, theme of today, homelessness. The level of advice that we deliver, so we deliver right across that spectrum. So sometimes that is giving people a one-off piece of information to help them resolve their problem. That could be filling out an online form, could be giving them the next steps, right through to doing what our colleague Vicky is doing this afternoon, and that really complex legal advice and casework, so representing people at court. But everything that we do is underpinned by supporting people to resolve their problems and to move forward. All of our advice is underpinned by regulation. There's absolutely no value in giving a lot of people bad advice. So we're regulated by the Advice Quality Standard. We hold the Specialist Advice Quality Mark. And all of our money advice is regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. Next slide, please. Sorry, I was looking at Jess thinking she was moving up.
Maybe next slide as well.
Oh, next slide. Yeah, sorry, done that one. So these are our kind of like core areas of advice. Jess is going to talk to you about some of our data, and what that will really highlight is all of these issues are interwoven. But debt and money advice, energy advice, no surprise to anyone. We've been in an energy crisis for a long, long time. Consumer advice, housing advice, pension-wise, pension advice, that's what it says on a tin there, and welfare benefit advice. And what we will find is a lot of people who are presenting to us with those housing issues, those issues are underpinned by needing access to welfare benefits advice and debt advice and energy advice. None of those issues sit in isolation. Next slide, please. Oh, there we go. As we said before, how we deliver our service is that multi-channel delivery model, and in essence what we do is we take our advice to people, going out into the community. That could mean a Sure Start centre, a family centre, it could be outside a bingo hall, in the Asda car park, wherever it is that people are going about their day-to-day life, we take our service to them so we can be there for them when they need us the most. Next slide, please. You might just want to skip across. Yeah, I'm going to hand to Jess now, and she's going to tell you a little bit about our data. I know that people in this room aren't just Manchester people, so this data is national data. This isn't just Manchester.
Thanks, Hayley. Thanks, Hayley. Oh, I don't know. Yes, I'm close enough now. You can hear me, which is never normally a problem. So as Hayley's just mentioned, this is national data, and I think it's a really truly awful visual of how much demand has increased when it comes to housing, when it comes to homelessness advice. As you can see there, it's increased, and it's definitely increased since the pandemic. I think what we're seeing mostly, and who we're worried about as well, is people with disabilities, lone parents, as well as people from ethnic minorities. And this data isn't, as we've said, not just Manchester data, it's national data. And we can also see that people who are highlighting the consequences of homelessness isn't just that issue of homelessness, it's about everything else being squeezed. So it is about not being able to let the children have playtime, let the children bring their friends round. It's also people that are seeking that advice, and there's a really good visual in a second about data and about how everything crosses over, is that even when we have supported a family that is experiencing debt and needing debt advice, that then people are still potentially in a negative budget after we've done absolutely everything we possibly can do when it comes to that debt advice. Next slide, please. So what we're seeing from a comparison to before the pandemic to after the pandemic is the complexities of the housing issues. So it is actually that rent arrears is also rent arrears is happening, but as well as the rent increases themselves, discretionary housing payments is a limited resource for people to be able to use, and probably a resource. There's also sharp rises in people people potentially being made me jump, who are in the privately rented sector, as well as people getting advice or seeking advice from letting agencies as well. Next slide, please. And this visual is just about how everything kind of crosses over and really is interlinked. Advice areas are massively interlinked. So it might be that somebody's got an energy debt, but that also, it's not just, people now generally don't have one-off debts. It might be rent arrears and council tax and energy debt. So this is unfortunately a really good visual of that, but also not one that we really want to be showing people. And this again is just, next slide please. I'm flipping between my laptop that's got the slides and then these slides, sorry. And then again, this just shows this is national data showing the complexities and the increase of data when it comes to what people are needing help with. So the cost of living crisis isn't just the essentials, it's also council tax, people accessing support on energy, charitable grants, as you can see in this kind of turquoise colour that sits on top. That emergent advice and need has massively increased through, and that will be linked to people potentially seeking homelessness support as well. Next slide, please. So as Hayley's just mentioned, our advice service really, when it comes to housing advice, is end-to-end advice. So it could be that somebody is out in a community hub and actually wants to gain advice and information about how to get registered on Manchester Move, which is how people get a local property here. It might be also that my landlord's telling me that they need to do something and I don't really trust that advice that they're telling me, so I'll look something up online. It also goes to income maximisation of advice, so that's the benefit checks to tell them that they might be entitled to extra money to support with that housing situation, as well as then specialist and caseworker advice. So our caseworkers and debt advisors are FCA accredited, as well as also, I think at Citizens Advice, you all know that we deliver advice, but something that you might not always know about us is that we also campaign for change as well. So we advocate for people, and we really use these stats, these facts and figures to drive national policy as well as local policy. So I think the slides that we've shown you today is hopefully kind of giving an insight of how we can do that. Thank you. I said it. You did it before I even said it this time. And just a really an overview of that legal advice of how we can help. So our legal advice is representation for people that are accessing that need homeless support when it comes to legal aid, whether that's reviewing judicial review as well as appeals, and identifying gatekeeping. So if bad practices are being acknowledged and recognised, it's about being able to kind of champion the right way of doing what they should be doing, as well as insisting on performance of legal obligations. We've also got the early intervention advice, so that's funded by Cadent. They provide, our advisors are able to provide early advice, so it's nipping it in the bud before they need to get to the extreme of having an eviction, as well as assisting with applications, challenging banding decisions, as well as, again, working with that larger community aspect of going, this person wouldn't have accessed our advice if they didn't know, if we wasn't in Asda car park, they didn't see the van and didn't go, actually, my landlord has said this to me this morning, I'm really nervous about what that said. We can get them up the food chain of being able to get this advice where and when they need it. And I think that's us. Thank you very much for listening.